I was asked by an anonymous viewer what my passion is and what my motivation is in these talks and in these meditations. And I suppose that it is deeply personal, that I feel that though reluctant, I was pushed and assisted and guided, and even though I rejected guidance for so long throughout my own youthful development, that the ability of the capacity for teachers, for parents, for guides, for rabbis, to guide, to give of their love, of their consideration, of their experiences, of their sweat and tears and the pain, and to articulate it and to share it. That, whilst people may do so for all sorts of motivations, for self-aggrandizement or for self-justification or for all sorts of reasons, the very act of sharing information to other people, however justified, has incredible results. It can help. It is a backdraft. It can bridge the process that people have to make in their lives to bring them to better places. And I just feel that that is a culture. That is my culture. That's the education that I received from my dear parents and from my teachers and from my rabbis and from my society. And over time I've come to appreciate that this is not an accident, but this is a guided, a structured, a conscious and a learnt position that one shares and teaches when one feels that one is in a position to do so. The other question is, in what position? What do I have to show? For what knowledge do I have that is so valuable, and how do I know it's so valuable? Is much like what Einstein said, that he was no cleverer or not a genius, but he thought about things more than other people. That it occupied his mind, that he struggled with it, that he wanted to push forward, that he wanted to break into new arenas of thinking, and that is how he achieved his theories. And I too think about this a lot. And I wonder what techniques can be used, what techniques can be borrowed from science and other disciplines to apply to the social sciences and to the condition of humanity, to be subtle, to be cunning, to be accurate, and to identify achievements which can assist in the human condition, to eradicate pain, to eradicate unnecessary hurt or discomfort or sickness to people. Just like scientists today, astrophysicists who seek exoplanets in the distant cosmos, must focus the lens of these huge telescopes and put on filters on the lights of strong stars, and to block out lights of various different types of causes. And in that way they can see exoplanets, they can see other energies, other matters, other forces at work in the cosmos, external to themselves, through a process of blocking or editing or reconstructing or screening or filtering, and using these types of techniques. And the comparison to that is to use comparative techniques in society, and that's really what historians do, and anthropologists do, and social scientists do. The other analogy may be to sending a satellites up into orbit. The satellite, which is an instrument that can allow a great resolution and an observation of oneself as well as the rest of the cosmos. In order to do so, it requires a whole series of very complex operations to the right positioning, the right orbit, the use of gravity to slingshot. There are several processes in moon landings which are extremely complicated, and the ability to do so requires a lot of counterintuitivity and a lot of science and technique. So too with the cracking of the coronavirus, the energy, the put into the various strategies from plasma exchange, from therapeutics, from DNA research, from social distancing, from digitally tracking, the techniques, were they applied? The very idea of shutting down an economy, the world economy, which has never been done before. In the past, people just died or kept away, but they're shutting down, the formalized shutting down, the amount of resources put into solving problems. One just wonders if one would think about it themselves. How can great problems be solved? And what resources need to be put into them? And what is the price of not solving them? So my motivation often is that if problems are not solved, then I may be the one that suffers along with everybody else from the problems. But I too will suffer, so that solving the great problems of society, I also solve my own problems.